Now, Luke Valentine, it's time to educate you on how a real vampire does battle!
There exist creatures of darkness and evil that plague the night, devouring any human unfortunate enough to be caught in their grasp. On the other side is Hellsing, an organization dedicated to destroying the supernatural forces that threaten the very existence of humanity. At its head is Integra Fairbrook Wingate Hellsing, who commands a powerful military and spent her life fighting the undead. Integra's vast army, however, pale in comparison with her ultimate weapon, the vampire himself, Alucard, who worked against his own kind as an exterminator for Hellsing. With his new vampire servant, Sarah's Victoria, at his side, Alucard must battle not only monsters but all those who stand to oppose Hellsing. In today's video, we will be talking about Hellsing Ultimate. Hellsing Ultimate is an original video animation or OVA animated by Studio Satellite, Madhouse, and Graphinica. Hellsing Ultimate is based on a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Kota Hirano. It was first appears from May 1997 to September 2008, with its chapters collected in 10 volumes. Hellsing Ultimate is the faithful adaptation of Kota Hirano's manga and doesn't have any relationship with the 2001 anime series.
Who the hell are you?
Your death.
Hellsing, a secret organization of the British government, has long been battling supernatural threats to keep the people safe from creatures of the night. The current leader, Integra Wingate Hellsing, controls her own personal army to eliminate the undead beings. Even her highly trained soldiers pale in comparison to her most trusted vampire exterminator, a man by the name of Alucard. Along with Integra's mysterious butler and Alucard's new vampire minion, Sarah's Victoria, the Hellsing Organization must face not only regular ghouls and vampires, but a rivaling secret organization from the Vatican, a millennium, an enigmatic group of madmen spawned by a certain war over 50 years ago. For some reason, England is not a safe place anymore, as well as some other countries. More and more vampire attacks are being reported in England. On top of that, one day, Alucard received an order to destroy a group of vampires in a church. During his mission, he saved a police officer, Sarah's Victoria, making her his new companion and turned her into a vampire. Now Sarah's is a part of the Hellsing Organization under the command of Integra's Wingate Hellsing. And the Hellsing Organization is to find the culprit that is responsible for vampire attacks in the whole world. What organization is trying to turn England into dust? And will the Hellsing Organization be able to stop them?
It's a great pleasure to make your acquaintance.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well. And now I must say goodbye.
On the surface, the story is nothing out of ordinary. An organization are on a mission to search and destroy the undead and supernatural forces of evil that will threaten the Queen and the country. Let's be real here, Hellsing has never been about the story. It has plenty of plot contrivances, noticeable plot holes, and mediocre world building. If you look for a bloodbath that has a well-written story, check out Berserk 1997, Parasite, or Higurashi When They Cry instead. You will think that the lack of narrative qualities will kill the show, but no, because Hellsing Ultimate is the ultimate rule of cool anime. The rule of cool is when an anime is just so brutal and awesome that it seems like a masterpiece, even with all of its flaws.
The police girl may be the lowest of the low, but a vampire is still a vampire. What a pathetic bunch of sniveling cowards. Do you really think they'll be of any use to us?
This is a series that wants to be known for its action and violence, so naturally the story aims for whatever can provide the most extreme outcome. Almost every twist and turn in the story is meant to drum up emotion or shock. In no way, shape or form is Hellsing Ultimate an anime for children. Every scene is amazingly brutal and lots of people end up dying in a myriad of ways. From the first episode I could tell that this anime was over the top. No other animes features crazy ass beasts with hundreds of sword-killing Nazi zombies. I mean, each fight scene is just so gory and explicit. If you like guns, sword and mutilated body, this anime will not disappoint. From being impaled by a 8-foot rifle to being decapitated with a karate chop. This anime has every hellish way of dying. Even if you hate everything else, you will definitely love the action. Hellsing Ultimate isn't afraid to have fun and blow stuff up. It's loud, energetic, bloody and explosive. It doesn't care if the narrative has whole or consistency issues. It wants you to have fun as you follow Alucard, Seras and the Hellsing Organization blow monsters up as they go through an unforgettable bloodbath journey. It's super absurd, yet it mostly has a strong level of self-awareness. You do think that the character in Hellsing Ultimate will be just as lackluster as the story, but actually, that's not the case whatsoever. In fact, they are fairly well written. The protagonist Alucard is what you want out of a lead. Cool, cocky and charismatic. This vampire has a knack for getting in his opponent's head as much as he gets his bullet in their body. In addition to being a vampire, he also brings two guns that soften up the enemy before he has his way with them. Contrasting him is the stoic Integrous Hellsing, the daughter of the late Arthur Hellsing. As the head of the organization, she orders Alucard and others to learn about and destroy all the vampiric foes attacking the locus areas. She is fearless in all manners, not breaking away from her sternness in even the direst situations. Their butlers, Walter Donas, is an older gentleman who once bore the name Angel of Death. Though he does not possess any vampiric power, his use of razor-sharp, near-invisible string catch enemy by surprise and lead them to their demise. The last of the main troupe is Seras Victoria, a former policewoman saved by Alucard. She has a friendly personality and provides more of the humorous or sweet moment on the show. Don't be fooled though. When she gets going in battle, her more vampiric personality traits start to show and she becomes far more aggressive. She provides a decent reference point for viewers as the newly formed vampire on the team to introduce us to the world of Hellsing. Hellsing was animated by 3 different studios. Satellite is the one who uses CG in most scenes. By the way, not the best CG. There is no fluidity and many rigid stances in the first OVA, except in a few moments. However, Satellite Studio was able to show improvement in quality as the animation goes on. But Madhouse and Graphinica can overhang. Both don't use CG constantly and give more detail to the scenes. OVAs are more than 40 minutes long, something out of common. However, Tomokazu Tokoro's direction maintains a dynamic pace, not making the animation dull or drag. The action sequences are frantic and contain appreciable graphic violence. The story progresses throughout the 40-minute episode at breakneck pace, moving right from one conflict to setting up the next. If you are the type who digs that kind of a non-stop badass action, you will love the OVAs. That said, because of it all moves so fast, delving into the really intriguing characters of the Hellsing universe had to be put to the wayside. Furthermore, the concept and the story aren't entirely the novel, and the plot doesn't build the way that a really well-told anime does. Yet, in the end, there's nothing to really complain about. The story is the sequence of fights tied together. The plot is coherent, just not fully explored.
But 100 years of the Hellsing family's occult knowledge produced this achievement. Our crown glory, the vampire Alucard.
Hellsing Ultimate also has some of the best animation around, gorgeous and freely experimental, with a wonderful manipulation of lighting, color, 3D effects, and bold outline of character to make it feel like a rich comic book brought to life. The series does everything right on this front, but especially excel in its facial design and copious but creative use of blood. The art in Hellsing Ultimate is fantastic, really give off that gothic feeling. The spectacle is truly impressive. The art managed to save the shows to some extent and it makes it somewhat watchable. The battles are given an added sense of spectacles by the art, and despite the ridiculous proportion of the characters, particularly Integras and Alucard. OST-wise, the soundtrack is pretty good and fit the show perfectly. Sound has some good Gregorian and choral tracks that fit the gothic mode of the series, a mix of tracks that feel like they are straight out of the 70s horror flick, and some ornate religious theme. Compared to the original Hellsing soundtrack, this one is definitely more toned down and sound more like the score of a movie than an anime OST. Some might say it lacks the same soul, others will love it, and in any event, it does a fine job. The The voice cast is top-notch, featuring most of the actors from the original series, with notable roles from Crispin Freeman as Alucard and Stephen Brand as Anderson. If you enjoyed the mediocre 13-episode TV series, you are in for a glamorous treat with the OVAs. The OVAs stays very true to the mangas, almost panel for panel, much like Monster in that respect. Each installment covers the incident of one volume of work. By the way, I highly recommend the manga as well. The characters are much more polished and darkly drawn than the TV series too. The music is as good as what we were treated to in the TV series, with a mix of eerie gothic, baroque and electronica.
Captain, let's bring her home and quickly. We've kept the gentleman at the Opera House waiting long enough.
First few episodes of Hellsing Ultimate sums up a whole original Hellsing story in pretty condensed. Hellsing Ultimate episodes are much longer, which is 45 minutes to classic 20 minutes for original 25 minutes. Hellsing Ultimate continues with story much further than the original series. Also draw art changed to more manga-like. I recommend first watching Hellsing TV series and then dissatisfied with the story presented there, come to Hellsing Ultimate for the real thing. Hellsing TV series is about what it means to discover and possesses power, while Hellsing Ultimate is the telling of the story of that power.
Giving up is what kills people. Those who refuse to give up are entitled their time to trample upon the weak.
To conclude, Hellsing Ultimate is a tasteful bloodbath like no other. It may lack a strong narrative, the amazing characters, visual, soundtrack, overall rule of cool factor make it up for it. It is one of a kind anime that represents the fun chaotic side of the anime medium, and I'm glad it exists. I'm just going to come out and say it, Hellsing Ultimate is awesome. Count Dracula team up with the granddaughter of Van Helsing in order to defend London from an army of Nazis vampires. Sounds silly, of course it is, and that's part of its charm. Hellsing Ultimate is ball-to-the-wall action that never takes itself too seriously, and is extremely enjoyable to watch. Guys, what do you think about Hellsing Ultimate? Do you enjoy it? Do you not enjoy it? Do you see it as a badass show like me? Or do you have another way of looking at it? Let me know that kind of stuff in the comment below. That's all from me. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe for more. Tooga aus.